Anybody out there? Can you hear me? Everything's all set up weird, so I don't know if things are happening. I, I put this together with scotch tape and popsicle sticks. So let me know if you can hear me. Hoping I can see comments. It says there's 2 comments. Where are they? There they are. What's up? Hey, but okay. Hey guys, Scott, Anthony, Ryan, can you hear me? Yes, my lord, you can hear me. All right, cool. I thought this would be fun. I don't know of anybody. It's probably been done, but I don't know of anybody that's just actually painted and shown people what they do. So I'm gonna try it and see if anybody likes it. I keep pausing. Like, what do you mean? Like I keep like the feed is bad? Is that everybody? 'Cause I'm not gonna do this if this sucks. Let me get my brush. Don't get excited. I'm probably gonna show you what not to do. Seriously. Your feed is good, Len. Cool. So I'm sitting here and I'm really motivated because of Legion's Con. Super fun. Super motivated, and I'm painting. And I thought, why not paint with everybody and do something fun? So I was working on this. Now earlier I could get this to really focus. And let's see. I'm doing skin tones. Now, the skin, from what I can tell, hey Curtis, let me see if I can get it bigger. So that's not bad, right? It looks good on my computer, pretty good. Yeah, I did pick up that head this weekend. And, but this is a Wolf King custom set. This is what I'm going to work on today. I'm going to show you what I do to get some skin tones. Now, nobody really taught me this. I'm not saying nobody does it, but it's just kind of my method that I use. It's probably wrong, and there's probably much better ways to do it, but this is how I get what I get. And this, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm going to pretend everybody doesn't know everything, so I'm trying not to insult anybody's intelligence, but this is a wet palette. It's a layer of paper. There's a name for this paper. And then there's a sponge down here that's got water in here. The water kind of seeps through the pores and the. Man, I should have clipped my fingernails. Man, I didn't realize my hands were gonna show. Jeez, I'm kind of embarrassed. Yuck. Should I bite them real quick? Anyways, who cares? This is a yeah, like I said, the water comes through and kind of seeps through slowly, and it kind of waters your paints down, and it's really good for mixing. And then the good thing is like when you get something going, it'll be good for a couple days. Like I can just put this over it, and there's actually another cover that should go on it, and a band that goes around it, which I've clearly lost because I'm a monster. And you got a couple of days where you can kind of come back to it, and it'll be watered out. Like this is like, you see how this right here, It looks kind of crummy. It might be too old. But usually if you mix it again, yeah, that's kind of crummy. But anyways, if you get a good color going and you need to leave, especially if you just need to leave because your wife's yelling at you, she's like, get up here and do something. And I'm like, I'm painting. Well, if you succumb to your wife's orders, you can come back a half hour later, 2 hours later, doesn't matter. And you can continue to paint. So I'm just going to show you what I do. I use a lot of different brands of paint. This right here says it's Warhammer, or I'm sorry, it says it's Army Painter, but it is not. It's just an Army Painter bottle that I put Citadel Kislev flesh in. I hate these pots. They suck. A dropper is much better, so I bought droppers from Army Painter because I do use Army Painter paints. I use a lot of them. They're just off camera. But I really like Kislev flesh, and using a dropper is much easier, so I put it in this dropper. So this guy's already been based out in another. Let me see here. Gosh, see, this was focusing a lot better when on the test, but we'll work with it. Maybe I'll get better at this. Let me see. I used this color here, and somebody put me onto this, and I forgive me that I don't remember who. I ordered it online. It's a watery kind of good base. It comes in a dropper, twist off, and splooge it out onto your. That's what this is right here. And I like that darker kind of. It's equivalent to like barbarian flesh and Army Painter. I started out with that, and then I go. So right from startup, I've already done a head here, but I'm going to start from scratch to show you what I do here. And like I said, better painters will probably show you a better way. But so I'm going to put out a little bit of that. Now, the cool thing about that is because there's water in this, as soon as I drop that, it's going to start sucking up a little water, and it's going to thin it out. And that works good for me. And then I take some just basic, you can see that I already did the same thing right here with the green, or I'm sorry, the red, the brown, and the yellow. And I just put a dot of red. Is that? It's just plain old pure red. I take demonic yellow. These are actual Army Painter paints. And I shake it. You can hear my little BB I put in there. And I put just a little dot. Boop. And then I'm going to grab my favorite brown that I use almost all the time. Oak brown, Army Painter brown. This one doesn't have a BB in it, but I use it enough that I got my three dots, and I've got my main color here. And I'm going to use this small brush. I could start with a bigger brush. I'm going to use one of these. This is a Daco fine detailed brush I believe I got from Len. Wolf King Customs, I think. This is the. I'm going to use this brush. At least to start. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to drag some of this off because I want it to get thin. It's sucking up that water, and I'm going to just touch the red. And I'm going to mix. Other people probably don't mix. I hear a lot of people tell me they don't mix. They're probably better than me. But I mix. And then you see that. Now I'm going to hit it with a little bit of brown. And it's going to get to be a real rosy skin color here. I'm going to hit it with a little bit more red, and I just keep playing with it until I get where I want. Now the yellow, if you notice with a lot of, especially if you're working with Mythic Legions, there's a little bit of a lot, especially with the Torgan body, you have a lot of orange. There's an orange cast to the skin, a lot. And when you put red and orange together, or red and yellow together, you get orange. So, you saw me put red in the flesh, and you saw me put brown in the flesh. The brown's to darken it a bit. The red's to make it like there's some blood pumping through your veins. And the yellow helps you grab that orangish tint. There, now I'm starting to get the orangish tint. I hope that's coming over on there. It's okay on your computer, on the computer screen I'm seeing. It's not picking up those colors as good as you'd think. So it makes me want to overdo it so you can see. You can probably see how that changed though. And I'm not looking at you guys' comments, sorry. I'm gonna put a little bit more yellow in here because I like that. You just get it where you want. You want to bring some life into this guy. There. I'm liking this. There. And this is getting watery. This is getting thin. And that's what I want. Now I'm just gonna go, and a lot of people paint in layers. I paint in layers, but I paint in, well, there's certain techniques you can use. You can watch videos and they'll say put this color down first, then put this color down second, then put a wash on, then do this. I don't do that. It works, and I've seen people do it very well. Every time I do it, it looks like it doesn't come up exactly. So, like I said, I started out with this color and I already painted them. So now I've got this new color on my brush, and I'm gonna start putting it on. For some reason, I always start with the cheeks. No reason you have to, but the thinness of the paint helps you not get globby. At least I can tell, from what I can tell. Although I have gotten globby. And I might screw this up. I might screw this up right in front of you. And then you guys will laugh at me and I'll be like, dang, I suck. Because I've been pretty lucky though. I get lucky a lot. That's what I think it is. It's just luck. The best stuff you see, I'm like, oh man. The best stuff you see from me is usually an accident. No, I want to get this nice and wet on his head. I'm not going to worry about his forehead too much. I'm going to focus right here in the eyes and the cheeks. And now, this is where it gets fun. You guys see? I hope you can kind of see. You can kind of tell what I'm doing. I wonder if I could get a better webcam. Anyway. So now what I do is I go back to the well and I want to do some, there's dark spots on any head. There's dark spots. You know, shadows, if you will. And so what I want to do is I want to take this color I already made. I'm going to put some brown in it. And I'm going to get it really nice and watery. And then I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. And I'm going to I'm just grabbing a little bit on this, and I'm going to go, now there's a crease right under his nose everybody has usually, and I'm going to hit it, and I'm going to hit the bottom of his cheeks, because that's where shadows fall, is under things. The bottom of the nose, I'm going to do the same thing over here. We're going to get the sides of the nose, under the eyes, shadows fall, especially this guy, he's wearing a hat. So you want to hit like up under his brow with the darker color, and I know that this isn't picking up probably, but at least you can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of hit these certain areas, and it doesn't matter at this point if I get like too out of control. Okay. And because we're going over this, I'm totally going to hit the bottom side. Well, actually his whole lip. We'll worry about the highlight later. I'm going to get a little more. Doesn't really matter. It's just paint. If you mess it up, and if you're dealing in thin coats, just paint over it. And even though I said I wasn't going to mess with the forehead, here I go, and I'm going to put this darker, because under his hat it's going to be dark, and right where his cheeks meet his beard, you're going to want the darker that I mixed. And so there we go. Now, I'm going to get into this red, and I'm going to put some life into his face. And now I'm getting so where it's really wet. I don't know if you guys can tell that, but his cheek is getting really wet and watery and runny. Now you don't want to get too much. That's where the practice comes in. But when you get the watery, now things will mix. So now I'm going to go back to my dark, and I'm not even going to clean my brush. I'm going to hit this dark again, and I'm going to make like little circles, and I'm going to blend that. I hope you. So I'm blending as things are getting. You know what? I'm looking. I want more of a drastic color change, so I'm just gonna, like I said, it's just paint and just paint again. There we go. There we go. And this is gonna look like crap because I'm just hitting, really focusing on cracks and crevices. And so some people will start with the darkest tone first, and then they'll keep adding the layers over, thinking, and that's true. The dark tones will fall into the deep areas. The problem is with me, I always get harder lines that way. So this way, like, I think you can see that hard line between the dark and the, I don't know if you can see it. Now watch, I'm going to make it go away. And it's just naturally mixing that dark. Okay, and then I keep the higher point of the cheek wet. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Well, I'm going to grab this nice red. I'm going to mix. I'm not watching the camera, I'm sorry, so I don't know what. And then I'm going to go up to his forehead, and there's these lines on his forehead. And I'm going to hit them dark. Get back into this brown, hit it dark. There we go. Right under his nose. bottom of his nose. Then I'm going to take this redder, more vibrant, and I'm going to hit across here. I'm going to mix it all in and see how that goes. And now we're getting subtle changes. It's all kind of running together. Now I'm going to go crazy and go straight up Kilsev. I'm going to hit his nose. The light's going to hit, and the light's going to also hit his cheeks. And then I'm just going to mix. I'm going to make circles. And what it's doing is it's making shades, but it's really hard to see on this camera. It's really hard to see. It's making gradual changes in his. This is just an experiment. I don't know. Maybe this won't. Maybe it doesn't translate very well. But so now I've got this shadow. I'm just gonna mix it. I'm gonna mix it, like just hit it and kind of get all those colors intertwining. Get them a little bit more wet. Maybe I'll hit. Along the nose is going to be dark. Around this crack is going to be dark. Under his eyes is going to be dark. So what I'll do is when I'm done, when I get this guy done, I'll try to post a photograph so you can see what it actually looks like. His ears and stuff. So I'm gonna grab my other bigger brush. Looks like I need more paint. I need to drag some more paint in. That's under his helmet, so it's going to be a darker. And then his skin behind, there's some skin behind his beard. I'm just going with the dark shade. Now as it's drying on his face, yeah, it's not showing up. Let's see what you guys' comments are. Our internet sucks. I don't think it's the internet, Courtney. I keep getting interrupted for anyone else. Does this video keep getting interrupted? Uh-oh. Focus me, Lord. And when you're done, like when this dries, now I can see, and I got a light shining right on it too, and that makes a big difference too, but you guys can't see unless I do that. But under normal light, you know, this, and I just keep playing with it. Now there is a point where you can't play with it anymore. And that just comes from doing it, to know when that point is. Let's see if I have an example of the end result of this. This is the same way I painted this head. Let's see if it comes across better. This is I can't see. Hang on. There we go. So this is a Anthony Houseel Toy Forge head, and you can see the shadows. Who's calling me? Oh. You can see the shadows kinda under his nose. You see how it's darker under his nose, and you see the highlights in his face. And after it's dried and it gets matte, you'll be able to see that stuff. But this is the same way I painted this head. You see how it's darker in his ears. This guy, now he has a hat on, so his ears aren't even going to really show you, and they're not going to have highlights on them. But you see when I did this head, I don't know, the top of his head is lighter. Is it coming across? But at the top of his head, you can kind of see this right here I'll fix because this is too drastic for me. See how the shade, the shade, I gotta handle something from work. So, anyway. I don't know who's... So, that's how I'm going to paint that. That's how I do the skin. Maybe I'll come back later and we'll finish this head, because it's going to make a world of difference when we start painting his beard and we start getting eyebrows on him, and you know, it's going to be a huge difference. You're gonna, and then I'll take pictures of it. There's only one person left. This must be really boring. Who's here? Anybody got any? I have to start practicing on my facial shadowing. Practice makes perfect. The eyes? What about the eyes? You want me to do the eyes? Will White, you still there? Who's there? There's only one person here. You're till the end. Eric LeBron is with you till the end. We could try to do some eyes. Fair skin. It's my eye white color. Straight up. Fair skin. And this is where I need help because my eyes won't do it. So I put a magnifier on. So let's see if I can paint now with this, because this is really weird. Alright, so I got my magnifier on my head. You guys can't see how dumb I look. Or Eric can't see how dumb I look, seeing nobody's watching me anymore. I get it. I'm going to put him back on a stick. And I'm actually going to move this out of my way a little bit. I'm going to sit right on the keyboard. Got my brush here. Got my fair skin. It's an army painter color. I got a little bit of brush on the, or a little bit of paint on the end of my brush. Oops. Okay, this is hard. I don't know if you can see, but no, I don't like that. It's got too much paint. I like that better. I'm not talking because I can't. Key to eyes, for me, what I've found, make sure you grab as much of the white. A lot of people get nervous that they're going to go like outside the line, outside of where the white should be. At this point, I would rather you splurge over your skin, or I would rather, I shouldn't you, I don't care what you do. Come on, you can do it, you can make your own decisions. What I would rather do for me is I would rather splurge and get it on the skin than lose some of my eye space. Because you need that when you got to get down and dirty. And I paint a lot of Emil's sculpts. Obviously, because of Wolf King Customs and we work together on things. And Emil, if you ever painted Emil's stuff, he has smaller eyes than most people. It looks fantastic. I think it's actually the right size. I think how Emil does it is actually the best most of the time. But I do notice when I paint somebody else's eyes, I got more space to play with. So with Emil, for instance, when I first started, I was a little bit like I would notice that I'm not using all the space that's there. So make sure you take as much white of those eyes as you can. Push it. There. And there's the white. I'm gonna let that sit. Color eye should we give them? Well, I'm gonna go with what I got in front of me. I'm gonna do blue. So I got deep blue. I got electric blue. We're gonna need a dot of black for a pupil. Come on, black. You got to be right in front of me. Anybody else ever do this? You're like, yeah, I know my black is right here, but it should be in front of me. I haven't used it all that long ago, but I don't see it. This is lame. Lame. Did I put it away? I don't usually put black I'm always using. Seriously. And, you know, usually when I find it, I find out that it's right in front of me. Anyway, I'll use... Oh, let's do it this way then. See, I can't seem to find one of my most used. Irritating. Anyway. Whoops. Right. Boop, boop. I have a dropper bottle for black. I have a whole thing of black here, but I wanted it out of my dropper. But so now, since I've just wasted all that time, we can be back to now. My whites are probably dry enough to just, because there's not that much paint there. I'm gonna hit this deep blue. I'm gonna start with a darker color blue. A lot of people can use black. You can totally use black. I used to use black. I still sometimes use black. But lately I've been kind of digging this look that I saw somewhere. The same brush that I just painted the whites with. I'm gonna get the. And don't dip your brush into the blob. Dip it just in the tip. That's how I do it anyway. I don't know if you can see that. And this is where you gotta get medieval. Ah, dang it. Let me hang on. I get these automated alarms from work, and if I don't answer them, they just keep calling me back. So ignoring them doesn't really work for me. So sorry, everybody. Now, you gotta make your iris. And I'm just gonna make a circle. And you just gotta take your time. There's no hurry here. It's just paint. Screw it up, fix it later. Obviously, if you screw it up too many times, you might run into like a, yeah, I got too much paint crusted on this thing. No going back. But you can probably make this first circle bigger than you think you can. Notice I didn't dot it. I painted it. That's how I seem to be able to do the best. I used to just try to dot it, and I'd dot it in the beginning, and it would be off, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's screwed up." That's that, and then I have to try to paint white over it again, and then try it again, and it's not right, and then you get paint white over it again. Pretty soon, you get so many layers of paint on it, you can't fix it. So now I use a very small brush. And I don't try to dot it. I try to hit it in the middle so I can kind of get a visual reference of where to start. And then I paint it. And I keep just touching it a little bit and growing it. And you can kind of look at it. Now you can check it. You can look at it and go, well, okay, it's obviously smaller than the other one, so we got more work to do. But am I lined up? Do I need to go put blue over there? Do I need to push the blue this way? Do I need to get it more up at the top? Do I need to get it down? You can just make adjustments in this. You're actually, you know, this is hard because my headgear keeps hitting the damn camera. I'm gonna try to move this a little bit and try to get this because I gotta get close because I can't see. Can you guys see? Now you're off camera here. See if we can do this. So I see that the blue needs to come over to this side, so I'm going to push it. reevaluate. That iris is too small still. So, we're going to give it some more real estate. Now remember this part of the eye, if you ever went to arts class, they tell you, I think, if I remember right, my art teacher told me that the iris should take up about 1/3 of the eye. So take your space. Don't make it too small because we got 2 other steps to go here. Take your space. If you hit that upper that's looking pretty good to me. That's almost looking like this one could use a little more real estate. That's why I say you got to start taking your space with the whites. Don't lose any of that white area because you need to take, everything's just going to get smaller from here, and this is where I change. No, I stick with this brush one more step. Then we go to the Psycho. There's actually a brush called the Psycho. Some of you may probably know that, but so if you look at someone's eyes, usually there's a dark ring around the outside. That's what we just did. I know it looks like a dot, but we're really just going to put another dot inside the dot. And I'm going to use electric blue. It's nice. It's a nice light blue. Pretty. This guy's going to have beautiful eyes. He's just going to get lost in them. Just look in his eyes and get lost. That's what we want. I keep thinking he's a sailor because he's got this like conquistador hat. But to me, he looks like those old guys in the yellow jackets on the pier, which is kind of cool. So again, we're just going to get the tip nice and blue. And usually this step gets actually a little easier, I would say, because the blue, can you guys see that? I think you can. The blue actually, that you've already done blue, you don't have to worry about getting them cross-eyed if you've done it right. You just got to get this blue inside that blue and leave a ring around it so that the dark blue and I'm going to go bigger. And again, you just want a ring. You don't want to take your space because you got one more step to go. A lot of times I flip them upside down. It just helps my hand position. I don't like that. There's too much of a blob of paint on there. I'm going to touch it. It's going to be too much. I need to look at this. Sorry guys. I can see that when you turn his head, I'm not going, the light blue isn't going far enough to the edge. Biggity blammo. See if you guys got any comments while that dries. It makes sense to give more control that way. Build him up. He looks like he's going to burn my village and take my treasures. What's... Video feed keeps glitching. Ah, oh, shoot. Jeremy, that his name is not pronounced Emil. No. I just watched that too, Israel, if you're still there. I was just watching Mythic Conversations, and Jeremy's still wrong. It's not Emil. It's Emil. 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 And his last name is Wiekman. Emil Wiekman. That's how you actually say his name. Emil is not right. I don't know where Jeremy got that from, but he also says Haas. Yeah, I'm painting. You know, the Haasman. I think he said in the last one too. You can't listen to Jeremy on pronouncing things. He says, oh God, there's a few things he says that are crazy. I know it's supposedly a main thing, but I love Jeremy, but he might be as bad as Travis. Still love the guy though. Alright, now we're going in for the kill. Anybody starting to appreciate this when you think of when we do an order for Wolf King, or when other painters do that stuff? They paint 20 of the same head, and you gotta do this 20 times on a... Oh, this is the wrong damn brush. What am I doing? Alright, now I gotta find my brush. If I can't find my brush, I can't do this, because this is the only brush I found. Here it is. Another army painter brush. It's called the Psycho. It's pretty tiny. And if you can see, it really is called... And I lick it. Right now, I'm licking it. In my mouth. It's pretty cool because some of this paint says it can cause cancer. I lick it every day. The trick to this, in my opinion, from what I found from screwing up so many times, is to get a detail. Now this is where you do want to dot it. And if you put your so if you pretend this pencil is my brush, this is the brush part of my brush, you want a big blob on the end. Not a big blob, but you want your blob of paint on the end, so when you touch it, it sticks. It just drops what you need. Sometimes you stick it in too far, you'll have nothing here, and then you'll have a big blob. It'll be farther up into here. And then you touch it and nothing happens. Touch it, nothing happens. Touch it, nothing happens. You start getting irritated, and then so you touch it harder, your brush starts to bend, and then you get up here in this goofy, crusty old blob, and it makes a big, nasty, and it's gross, and it sucks, and you're mad, and you throw things. At least that's what I found. So, I'm going to go after it again. I want it nice. I want this to be a one shot. Yeah, it looks like it's off because it's actually a dot of blue down here. Down in this corner, I don't know if it's picking up, but there's a blob of ow. That didn't hurt. I don't know why I said ow. There's actually a dot blob of this blue that makes it look like... I'm gonna fix that. But it actually was a good hit. So I'm gonna go back, because now this is another thing. I don't just go to the next die and try to do it again, because I lost my nice little blob of paint, and so I clean my brush. I'm licking it. And now I'm going back for a second hit, because hopefully this is a one-touch shot. What are you doing?
Mom's calling me because she said your video is like glitching, like it's not, like every 2 seconds.
Oh.
And people are commenting that, but nothing. You're not looking. Or Mom was.
Oh, maybe it is. Nothing I can do about it.
Okay.
I'm almost done.
Okay.
Is this screwing up for everybody?
Mom said it is for her at least.
Okay. How am I supposed to paint? I think it'll be fine on the replay anyway. Alright. Well, if you're still with me, I'm going to go back to this flesh tone. New comments. It's fine now. I'm going to go back to the flesh tone. And I'm going to hit that spot that I don't like. And I'm actually going to use my Psycho and fix it. And bam, fixed it. But we're not done yet. We got one more step. Thanks, guys, for not abandoning me. Not everybody does this last step. I like this last step. It's risky, but it's worth it. I think. People have eyelashes. There's a lot of ways to do this. Some people use brown if they do it. I don't. I use black because I'm lazy. But I paint the black line over the eye. And then actually when I'm done, I actually get a reddish, and I paint the underline too. But the black is more important, so that's what we're gonna do today. Here, I'm gonna try. Usually I don't do this till everything's done. I'm gonna be dry brushing this when I finish. Oh no, it's screwing up again. All right. See, I'm like hardwired too. I'm not doing this over Wi-Fi. I don't know why that. Anyway, I'm gonna do this. And we'll get it. Then I'll get it done. We'll get out of here. I thought it would be fine. Basically, it's the same thing, and this is where you really need some hand control. And I'm gonna start towards the center of the eye. See what that does? There we go. Looks a little crazy without any eyebrows, but yeah.
Will you drive me to Grandma's?
In a minute, I'm doing something. Close the door.
Honey, come here.
My family doesn't understand that I'm at a crucial spot right now. Now I did screw up a little bit, and I put a little black. I'm almost done for today. Put a little black. It's kind of hanging down into that whites of his eye, so I'm gonna dot it, and I'm gonna fix it. Like that. Oh wait. that works. And that's going to be it for today. Now the last thing I'll do after this is completely dry is I use this stuff, it's semi-gloss, and hit that with the eyes so that they glisten. But that's it for him today. Sorry about all the skipping and the weirdness, and hopefully it'll be better on the replay. If anybody wants to watch this crap, see how I do my backwoods painting, that, I don't know, maybe some real people will get out and tell me how dumb I am. Some real painters. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you could learn something from me. Maybe, like I said, what not to do. So, bye.
Mom's gonna drag me.
Okay. I don't know how to stop this. End my video.